he was foremost an artist, but working as an artist in design. And then there's the idea of that conversation between art and design. Is he a designer making art? Is he an artist making design? But for me, he was just an artist making art.
Toby's contribution to art and design, I feel, is that he works so hard at blurring that.
What I love about his work is like you never know if he's condemning consumption, is he condoning it? He's leaving this task to us. So the name of the exhibition is All We Want Is More, the Tobias Wong Project. So the rationale behind is, well, this is an artist who loved to riff on other people's work, so we had to riff on one of his work. And so we pluralize it. All we want is more. And kind of as a nod to his interest in people's obsession for consumption. So we want more, but also the team, as we were kind of investing ourselves into this project, as I was getting to know more and more the project, like, and sharing the bits and pieces, like, everyone wanted to know more about him. And we feel that in the way we kind of develop the design and the storyline, we hope that, like, that's the feeling that people will have when they leave the exhibit is, all we want is know more about this guy. Josh Doherty, our designer, loved Toby's work. So it's been really cool to exchange ideas with him.
When I have a good sense of sort of the overall concept for the show, and I can start to sort of like lay out the space and play with ideas, and I start blocking in the furniture of the space and how the flow is going to happen, and start to play with materials and how that all comes together to sort of create a space and an experience.
It's so cool to work with mount makers like Andreas Schlichting, who, you know, is an artist himself and a jewelry maker. And so it always feels for me that when he does these mounts, like, he pays attention, looks at the piece, and then is able to make it float so that it just becomes more precious and beautiful. You know, when you start talking about Tobias Wong's work, a lot of people have question marks, like when they're in their 20s. And yet, after a few, meetings with, for example, Emily Carr students in curatorial studies, you could see, like, people had questions, were able to make connections with their contemporaries.
So at Emily Carr, we have a curating minor, and every term I try and do something different. So when Museum of Vancouver reached out and said, we have this really interesting opportunity with Tobias Wong's show in development, what do you think? I was like, yes.
I mean, it'll be a cliche to say honored, but it feels good to be given the chance to just chronicle someone's life, and kind of get to know another artist so closely.
It's been really fun and interesting for me to try and get into Tobias Wong's head and understand what he was trying to do.
I wonder how Tobias's work lives on. It's not just things in a museum. It's things that, we see every day.
He could almost sidestep the establishment in a way because he wasn't part of it, but he knew how to work it. He was also, if I haven't said it before, unbelievably charming.
He never gave up on beauty. His work is so elegant and so beautiful. And what it's saying is, like, that pursuit for beauty is a pursuit for meaning. And I think that's been a constant in his work.
I think doing a show for Toby in Vancouver now is really good because his work still, though artists love him, he's not super well known in the outside the art scene, and his work is brilliant. His work is amazing. I don't think we've seen another artist like him, and I don't know if we ever will see another artist like him.